Okay, now higher order derivatives. So what are higher order derivatives? If we take the derivatives for, let us say that we have take the derivative for f derivative of 2, okay, of x, 2 times of x, so it will be d upon dx square, okay, and the derivative of it means that we have to take the derivative of y 2 times, so it will be like d upon dx, okay, first derivative, and second derivative d upon dx with y. So it will be elaborated as that, okay. So when we take different basically change with respect to time, let us say that first there is distance s, okay, so distance d upon dx, okay, with the distance s, it will be equals to velocity, okay. So when we take the acceleration, okay, the next step, so it will be d square upon dx square of s, so it will be one time step and second times. Okay, so same as cube and fourth and so on. Okay, so the question is find the second derivative. Okay, so second derivative, how to find the second derivative? That first I have to find the first derivative, then find the second derivative. My function value is f of x equals to 2x square minus 3x plus 1. So it will be written as f derivative of x will be equals to limit h approaches to 0 with what? With f of x, or for this case it will be written as f x plus h, because there is no domain given. If no domain given, so I have to find I have to put this limit, so it will be f x plus h with sorry, there's a negative sign, negative of f of x divided by h. Okay, so it will be written as limit h approaches to 0 with, now I have to place x plus h, so it will be written as 2, now x plus h square minus 3 x plus h plus 1, and then minus of function, that is 2x square minus 3x plus 1 divided by h. So for the system, I have to write that limit h approaches to 0 with 2 into a square plus b square plus 2ab minus 3 of x minus 3 of h plus 1 minus of this function value. So this will be minus 2x square, minus minus will be plus, so it will be plus 3x, and minus plus will be minus 1 divided by h. Okay, so after the elaboration, this is my answer, so you have to elaborate it, so it will be plus limit h approaches to 0 with 2x square plus 2h square plus 4xy minus 3x minus 3h plus 1 minus 2x square plus 3x and minus 1 divided by h. Now cut some parts, so this will be written as This 2x plus 2x square will be cut with minus 2x square. This 3 minus 3x will be cut with this one. This minus 1 will be cut with this plus 1. Okay, so there are three parts. That is, first is 2x square, 4xy, and minus 3h. So it will be 4xy plus 2h square minus 3h divided by h. Now take h common, so it will be 4x plus 2h minus 3 divided by h. Because if we apply limit simply, so this will be this upon 0, so the answer will be infinity. So we have to eliminate h from denominator. So it will be limit h approaches to 0, 4x minus 3h. So it will be, here will be 0, so it will be 4x minus 3. So this is the answer for when applying limit h equals to 0. Now take the double derivative. Now take the derivative again for this function. So again applying f double derivative of x, it will be limit h approaches to 0. Now it will be f derivative x plus h minus f derivative of x divided by h. So it will be, what is the value? So it will be 4 into x plus h minus 3 minus this one. So after this, my answer of f derivative is double derivative of x equals to 4. Okay. Now the next question is find acceleration. As the value of s of t given as 3t square minus 4t plus 1. So we have to find the acceleration. So as I defined earlier, that st, that the derivative, first derivative of st will be equal to velocity. And the second derivative, now the derivative of velocity will be my acceleration. Derivative of velocity will be my acceleration. I have to take two derivatives. First derivative to find the value of v, second derivative to find the value of s. Okay, so same as this will be written as s derivative of t will be written as limit h approaches to 0 with s. Okay, s is my function t st plus h. Okay, so st basically is my function. So st divided by h. So it will be written as limit h approaches to 0. So s3 and then t square. So it will be t plus h whole square minus 4 of t plus h plus sorry, here it is okay, plus 1 minus of 3t square minus 4t plus 1 whole divided by h. Now after the simplification, you have to simplify it, and my answer for s of t will be equals to 6t minus 4. So this is the way to find the first derivative. Now finding the second derivative. So to find the second derivative, my function formula will be s derivative, second derivative of t, which will be equals to limit h approaches to 0 with s derivative of t plus h minus s derivative of t and then whole divided by h. So what is the value of s derivative? This is 60. So it will be written as 6 t plus h minus 4 minus 6t minus 4 divided by h. So it will be 6t plus 6h -4 -60 plus 4 divided by h. So to find this 60 will be cancelled. This will be cancelled. So it will be 6h divided by h. H will be cancelled, and as double derivative of t will be equals to 6. Okay, so this is to find the explanation. Okay, moving towards the next. Now, differentiation rules. Here it comes my differentiation methods or general rules to find the value of differentiation. Okay, so this is basically 3.3 topic. Now moving, this is the end of 3.2, which is basically the single derivative and double derivative of my function. Now differentiation rules. Moving towards first differentiation or with basic rule. So basic rule will be find that if there is a constant. Okay, so first started with my constant rule. So constant rule, generally, what is the derivative of 6? So derivative of constant is always equals to 0. Okay, so how to elaborate it? Let us see that function f of x equals to c and fx plus h equals to also c. So it will be written as fx plus h minus f divided by h. So it will be c minus c. So c minus c is 0. So 0 equals to 0. So f derivative of constant value c equals to 0. So this is my constant rule. This is the first rule. This is known as the basic rule. Okay. So this will be elaborated as again if there is f of x of what constant value. So the derivative of constant value is always equals to 0. Let us say that find the derivative of f of x equals to 8. So there is no variable. This is the constant. So constant values have the derivative equals to 0. Okay. Then the second is my power rule. So what is basically the power rule? The power rule says that if there is a derivative d upon dx, and let us say that x power n, so it will be power will be here, so it will be n into x, and then there is a negative x minus n. Again, for the power rule, my power will be here for the first term, so this will be written as n multiplied by, then there is a negative of 1 from my power x and minus 1. So let us say that, for example, my function is x5, x power 5. So my derivative d of dx will be what? X power 5. So it will be, power will be then 5. It will be written firstly, then variable x, then there is a negative sign 5 minus 1. So it will be 5x4. Same as 2, so it will be 2x square. For 1, it will be 1 upon 2, it will be 1 upon 2 first, and 1 upon 2 minus 1, so it will be minus 1 upon 2, so half x minus 1 upon 2. So this is the power rule to find the derivative of my power functions. Okay, let us say you have to find the derivative of d of dx square of x cube by applying the limit method. Okay, so it will be written as, if it is given that you have to apply the power rule, simply you have to apply power rule. If there is not given, you have to do with all these steps. So for this, first you have to find that limit h approaches to 0 with x plus h, and this will be x plus h whole cube minus function value, that will be x cube divided by h. Now, taking the formula. So how, what is the formula of this one? So this will be A plus B whole cube formula. This is a quadratic formula, cubic formula. So cubic formula A plus B whole cube. The formula equals to A cube plus B cube plus 3A square B plus 3AB square. Okay, so this is the way basically. So it will be limit h approaches to 0 divided by a cube. A cube is my x cube plus second is my b cube, so it will be h cube plus 3a basically x, so it will be x square h plus 3x h square. Okay, so remember this formula to find the cubic root of cubic formula for a given two variables. So, minus x cube divided by h. So again, this x cube and this x cube will be cancelled out. So this will be 3x square h plus 3xh square plus h square divided by h. Now taking h common. So h and h will be cancelled out. Now applying the value of h equals to 0. So here it will be 0 and 0. So this value and this value will be cut it out. So my value will be 3x square. Okay, so this is the complete method to find the derivative of a given function using limits and using the, basically this is the formula which is an equation, I think 3.16. So please remember this formula to solve the derivative by using limits. Okay. Again, this is the same, that this is the power rule, that it will the derivative will be x n into n x n minus 1. So this is the power rule. So if you want to prove it, so x derivative of this will be equals to x plus h n minus x n divided by h. Now this x plus h n will be solved using binomial theorem. So binomial theorem is xn plus n into xn minus 1 plus this one. Binomial theorem used where the value of n is greater than 3 or 4. Okay, so where there is no formula, okay, to solve a given equations, we use binomial theorem to find the values of given variables. So this can be found using binomial theorem, and by binomial theorem we find that the value x square, this one, x square plus h whole square equals to this one. Now taking this negative, taking this x square and to the left hand side, so it will be x plus h n minus xn. So this will be the numerator of my limit function. So I will write this here. So it will be this one. So it will be written as this one divided by the value h. Okay. So there's a h sign for involved in every term of my function. So take h as a common. So h and h will be cancelled out. Now taking h equals to 0. So all my h terms will be 0. This h1, this h, and this one. So my answer will be f derivative of x equals to nx n minus 1. That is n x with a power n minus 1. So this is the proof of my power rule using limit functions. So first thing to, or the major thing to remember, the binomial theorem. So I have to write here that x, let's say a plus b power n. So it will be a n, that the value of first variable, plus taking n here into a and then non-negative, there are decrease in my power, so it will be n minus 1, and the increase in the next parameter, that is here it is b0, that there is no power of b. So if here it adds that there's an increase in the power, so it will be 1. Okay, for n, so it will be ncr2 will be x, sorry, there will be n a with n minus 2 b2. Then next is n3 with a n minus 3 b3, and this will be written where at b equals to n. Okay. So this is a general formula for a binomial theorem to solve for a given equation. Okay, so apply a power rule. Simply apply a power rule to find the value of function xn equals to f of x equals to x power 10. So my derivative will be equal to, I have to apply the power rule. So my power rule will be n x n minus 1. So it will be 10 x n minus 1. So 10 x 9. Okay, so this is the by using finding the derivative by using power rule. Okay, now the sum, difference, and constant multiple rules. So for the first one, to find the sum or difference and constant multiple rules, the derivative to find the value of f of x or g of x, so it will be elaborated as if there is a two functions f of x and g of x, they are adding with each other, there is a sum sign between them. So by using sum rule, this differentiation will be like, first I have to differentiate with f of x, then a positive sign, and then differentiate with g of x of this function. So now for the difference rule, it will be said only there is a negative sign in between them. Okay, so this is my sum and this one rule, so this will be written as this one. So if there is a negative, so d of function minus d of this function. Okay, now constant, if there is constant k, so k will be before the derivative, so k will be here, so k then derivative of the function. Now applying, find the derivative of g of x and compare it to the derivative of f of x, which will be equals to this one. So first I have to take the derivative of g of x, which will g of x equals to 3x square, and my derivative will be equals to 6x, and for second it is f of x, and it will be equals to x square. So f derivative of x will be equals to 2x. So this means that 2x and 3x. So we see that this value of g of x is, you can write here, g of x is 3 times more than the value of f of x. Okay. As g of x is a quadratic function and f of x is also, so this will be that g of x and f of x is my both having functions with a curve value, but my derivative will be g of x derivative equals to 6x and 2x. So these both are the linear system with a higher power 1. So they have a linear graph. Okay, so how to find, just putting the value of x. Let us say that's how to find it. So 3x value will be taken as 1. So this value equals to 1. So at x equals to 1, at x equals to 1, my value equals to 3. So at 1, my value equals to 3. Okay. For 3 function 3x squared, so 2 square will be equals to 4, and so it will be 12. So at 2, my value is 12. So at 2, my value is 12. So this is the general. So now for the next case, this is 6 of x, which is the derivative function. So putting 6 of 1 will be equal to 6. 2 for it is 12. So when putting x equals to 1, my value equals to 6. When putting x equals to 2, my value equals to 12 respectively. So this is the way to plot a graph between two variables x and y with the two functions. First the general function g of x and f of x, and then the derivative function g dot of x and f dot of x. Okay. Applying the basic derivative rules to find it. Okay. So my derivative is f of x equals to 2x5 plus 7. So my derivative will be equals to f derivative of x, which will be equals to d upon dx with the value 2x5 plus 7. So I have to written separately. So d of dx, this is basically applying sum rule here. Okay, so first to apply sum rule here, so it will be d2x5 so now the next is applying the power rule or multiple. So first I have to apply the constant rule. So this 2 will be here. So 2 will be the constant. So it will be we have to write before the derivative. So it will be x5 plus d upon dx of 7. Now applying two basically rules here. For this parameter we have to apply the constant rule, which will be equals to 0, and here we have to apply the power rule. So it will be 2 into 5 x 5 minus 1 with plus of 0. So it will be 2 5 x4, which will be equals to 10 x4. This is the answer for a derivative function. Okay, now we have to find the derivative. Of this one. So find the equation. Now the question given is find the equation of line tangent to the graph. Oh yes. So how to find it? At x equals to 1. So this is the part where basically we have to find things. Okay. Now find the equation of the line, as the equation of line equals to y equals to mx plus c. From here we have to first find the value of m, which will be equals to y minus y1 divided by x minus x1. Okay, or separately y2 minus y1 if there are 2 points, but there is only 1 point given to us. Okay, so how to find it? First, in first step number 1, step 1. Okay, so we have to put the value of x in the function. So x equals to 1, so it will be written as 1 square minus 4 of 1 plus 6. So this will be 1 minus 4 plus 6. So it will be 6 plus 1 will be 7 minus 4, it will be equals to 3. Okay, So step two will be I have given the points that this function value f of x value will be equals to, as we know that equals to y. So at x equals to 1, my y function value equals to 3. So I have given that, I have to write that in step 2 that x and y values. So my x value equals to 1 and my y value equals to 3, that I find from the function by putting x equals to 1. Now in step number 3, step 3 is we have to find the slope. Okay, so to find the slope, we have to find the derivative. Since the slope of a tangent at 1 is the derivative of f of 1. Okay, so derivative of f of 1 will be my, because x equals to 1. So derivative, as we know that derivative equals to slope because it is the change. So derivative equals to f derivative of x. And in this case, it will be equals to f derivative of 1. Okay, so my f of 1, that is my derivative of f of x basically equals to x square minus 4x plus 6. So it will be f, first I have to find the f derivative of x, which will be equals to 2 of x minus 4. Then applying x equals to 1. So it will be f derivative equals to 1 equals to 2 minus 4, which will be equals to minus 2. Okay, so this is basically the step 2. Now we have x equals to 1, y equals to 3, and m equals to minus 2. So just we have to apply in our equation from this. So this is the first step, second and third. First to find the value of y, this will be my coordinates, and then finding the value of slope, which will be equals to minus 2. Okay, so then after we have to, again, my y value equals to 3 with x value equals to 1 and my derivative equals to minus 2. As we know that y minus y1 equals to m x minus x1. So it will be, so these are my basically coordinates value with x1 and y1. So x minus y1, that is y minus 3 equals to y minus 2 x minus 1. So y minus 3 equals to minus 2x plus 2. Y minus 3 equals to minus. So my value will be y minus equals to 2 of x. So it will be y minus 5 equals to minus of 2x. Y equals to minus 5. Okay, the product rule will be, we will discuss product rule in the next slide. So hopefully you will enjoy this lecture. So we'll meet in the next lecture. Goodbye from this.